Reddit user thought they had it all figured out. They needed to pay a $17,000 business bill, and instead of just paying it normally, they thought, why not throw this on a premium rewards card, rack up massive points, and come out ahead? Sounds smart, right? It wasn't. And I'm going to show you exactly why this trap catches so many people and how to avoid it yourself. Hey, I'm David Chen. I'm a credit consultant, and over the last decade, I've helped clients lift their credit scores by 100, 150, sometimes 200 points. I've gotten people approved for cards they thought were completely out of reach. But I've also reviewed hundreds of applications where people thought they were winning but were actually paying the house. And that Reddit scenario, I've seen it play out in real life at least a dozen times. Here's what happened with this user. They saw a premium business card offering a massive sign-up bonus. Let's say 100,000 points worth about $1,000 in value. Great. But they missed the critical detail. The annual fee was $695. Now, for a high-volume business spender, that fee makes sense. It pays for itself if you're running $150,000 or more through the card annually. But this user, they weren't. They were looking at one specific $17,000 payment. Let me break down the math, because this is where the lesson lies. The card offered 5x points on business purchases. So on a $17,000 charge, they'd earn 85,000 points. At typical redemption rates, and I'm using real 2024 data here, that comes out to roughly $850 in value. Sounds great, except they just paid $695 to sign up for the card, and that fee hits whether you spend $1,000 or $100,000. So their actual net gain, about $155. But wait, it gets worse. They didn't account for the fact that they'd now have a new card on their credit file. I've seen this happen repeatedly. When I reviewed applications for clients last year, adding a new card can temporarily ding your score by 5 to 15 points because of the hard inquiry. Why does that matter? Because that score impact can affect your approval odds for other financing. It also reset their average account age, one of the biggest factors in your FICO score. Let me explain that for a second, because credit age is weighted at about 15% of your FICO score. The FICO scale runs from 300 to 850, with prime defined as 670 and above, and super prime starting at 800. If you're sitting at a 750, that's solid. But when you open a new account, your average account age drops. It's like you're rewinding the clock on your credit history. I worked with a client last year who had built up to a 775 score over 7 years, opened 3 new cards in quick succession, thinking they'd maximize rewards, and watched their score dip to 715 in a single month. It took them 18 months to get back to 775. Now, here's the pattern most people miss. Premium cards are designed for consistent, high-volume spending. They're not meant for one-off transactions. The card in this Reddit scenario had another annual fee of $195 for each additional year. So unless this user was planning to use it long-term, they were basically paying $695 to save $155. That's a net loss of $540. And that doesn't even include the credit score dip and the impact on their credit profile. Let me give you the real framework I use when evaluating whether a premium card's fees and bonuses actually make sense. First, calculate your true annual spending on that card's bonus categories. If the card offers 5x on business purchases, you need to realistically estimate how much you'll put through it in year 1. Let's say you actually will spend $150,000 annually. At 5x points on $150,000, that's $750,000 points. At typical 1-cent redemption rates, that's $7,500 in value. Minus the $695 annual fee, you're at $6,805 net value. That's sustainable. But if your honest spending is $17,000, you're at 85,000 points, or roughly $850 minus $695 equals $155. That barely covers taxes and administrative costs. Second, factor in credit utilization. This is critical and often overlooked. The recommended credit utilization ratio, that's the amount of available credit you're using versus your total limit, sits under 30%. The sweet spot, under 10%. I've seen this impact FICO scores by 50 to 100 points. When you open a new card, you get a new credit limit, which increases your total available credit and can actually lower your utilization ratio if you keep your other cards paid down. That's good. But if you're going to max out that new card with a $17,000 charge, and it has a $20,000 limit, you're at 85% utilization on that single card. That's a disaster for your score. Even if your overall utilization stays under 30%, individual card utilization above 50% starts to ding you. Third, understand the true timeline. Premium card fees are annual. So if you're only planning one transaction, you're essentially paying a one-time fee for a one-time benefit. That almost never pencils out. When I evaluated a client's wallet last year, they had 4 premium cards, each with annual fees between $550 and $750. Combined, they were paying roughly $2,600 per year in fees. I asked them to show me their spending by category. Turns out, they could consolidate to 2 cards and save $1,200 annually while actually earning more rewards through better category matching. They thought having more cards meant more rewards. It didn't. Now, let me address the elephant in the room, the sign-up bonus. These can be genuinely valuable if you meet the spending requirement legitimately. A lot of cards in 2024-2025 are offering 50,000 to 150,000 bonus points after you hit a minimum spend of $5,000 to $15,000 within the first 3 months. If you're going to spend that money anyway, the bonus is real money. But here's where people go wrong. They artificially inflate their spending to hit the bonus. They pay bills early. They buy things they don't need. They process business expenses ahead of schedule. I've seen people spend an extra $2,000 to $3,000 just to hit a threshold for $1,000 bonus. That's not a win. That's you paying for the privilege of getting a discount. With the Reddit user, they saw the bonus, didn't do the math on annual fees for low-spend scenarios, and ended up with a net loss plus a credit score dip they didn't anticipate. Here's the move I recommend instead. When you have a large one-time business expense, first, check if you already have a suitable card. If you have a 2% flat-rate cashback card with no annual fee, use that. You'll get $340 on a $17,000 transaction with 0 fee. That's pure gain. Second, if you want to maximize rewards on a one-time spend, use a card you already own that has high category rewards and no annual fee. Most people have at least one card like this sitting in their wallet that they're not optimizing. Third, if you absolutely need a new card, only apply if you're committed to using it for ongoing spending that genuinely justifies the annual fee based on the calculation I outlined. Fourth, space out new applications. Each hard inquiry can dip your score 5 to 15 points. Multiple inquiries in short succession compound that damage. If you're building business credit or personal credit simultaneously, you want to be strategic about timing. I worked with a client in Q3 2024 who was in exactly this position. They had a $25,000 business equipment purchase coming up. Were ready to apply for a new premium card offering $1,000 in statement credits after minimum spend. I told them, use the business card you already own that offers 3x on office supplies and business purchases. Minimal fee, high rewards rate for your category. On $25,000, that's 75,000 points at $750 value. No new inquiry, no credit age reset, no complicated fee math. They saved themselves the hassle and the credit hit. That's leverage. That's understanding your credit ecosystem so thoroughly that you don't get trapped by flashy offers. So here's my challenge to you. Look at your credit card wallet right now. How many cards do you have? Now look at the annual fees. Add them up. I'm willing to bet 60% of you are paying for cards you're not optimizing. The Reddit user in this story paid $695 for $155 gain. Don't be that person. Your credit is your leverage. When you understand how fees, bonuses, utilization, and account age all work together, you stop chasing points and start building real financial power. You become the person who qualifies for premium cards with better terms. You become the person who can access 34% APR offers when you actually need them. You become the person who doesn't get trapped by one-off transactions. If this hit home, subscribe. I put out a new video every week, breaking down real credit scenarios and the exact numbers behind them. And if you want a personal